One of the ways you can use images on your web page is as the backgrounds of elements. This means you can put text or even other images on the top of your images because they're the background of the div or the body or whatever. So for this, I've got a small div with just the word Shasta in it, and I'm going to add a background image, and you use the background image property. And I'm going to point to a URL of mydog.jpg. Now, as you can see, the image is way bigger than the div as we saw before. So we can fix that with the background size property. I'm going to try contain and see how that looks. Now we have Shasta bouncing across the screen inside this div. Now, the reason that there's 4 of him is because the div is taking up the full width of the screen. So we can change that width so that the div is taking up less of the screen by saying width 400 px. But Shasta's still duplicated. So we want to change the background repeat. Options you have are no repeat, repeat, repeat X, which means repeat across the X-axis, or repeat Y, repeat across the Y-axis. I'm going to choose no repeat because I only want Shasta to display once. Then the other thing you'll notice is that there is text on this screen, but it's pretty hard to read. So you always want to make sure that any text or whatever that's on top of a background image is legible. And one way you can fix that is to change the color of that text to say white. Now I'm going to work with another image. Instead of the Shasta URL, I'm going to switch it to a fleur-de-lis image. And turn off the background repeat so you can see it. As you can see, it's going to repeat in a golden fleur-de-lis across the page. I'm going to get rid of the width so it goes all the way across the page. Now, if there's a lot of text in this div, it would do even more. So we'll grab a paragraph of text, paste it in. And because the image background is set to fill that screen using the background size contain, it's going back and filling the image. It's duplicating it, but only once. However, if we get rid of that background size contain and change it to just be background image, it repeats over and over and over in a pattern. And like I said, we can change it to background repeat X, and that repeats the image across the top. We can have it repeat Y, and that has it repeat down the side. But what if you want it to be placed in a different place? You can change the position of that repeating background to say background position, and we'll say center top. It doesn't really make a difference when you say center top. It's going to do the same as if you just said center, but I like to put both values in there so that I remember that there needs to be 2. And what you're defining is the horizontal, left, right, center, and the vertical, top, middle, bottom. Some other background values you can set are the background color, which you've seen before. But this makes it a fun way to layer your backgrounds. As you can see, we still have the background image of the fleur-de-lis going down the middle. Layered underneath that is also the background color, the gray. And you can put all this together into one shorthand property, the background property. And you would type exactly the same thing. You type the URL of the background image. Most people put the background color first. I found it doesn't really make a difference where you put them, but if you're having problems getting it to do what you want it to do, then you should put the color first and then the URL. Put the repeat and then put the position. And if we preview it, it should look the same. If we change the position to right top, moves it over to the right. So that's how you add background images to your web pages.